G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another episode of Space Survival. So at the end of the last episode you guys saw me getting reasonably frustrated with trying to get this ore detector and rotor part connected to this tiny 1x1 small grid rotor, and a lot of people in the comments actually mentioned that there is a 3x3 small grid rotor, and I got to be honest with you, I've never used it before and I totally forgot it even existed. So that probably would have been a better thing to use. However, I'm not sure if my alignment would have been any better using that rotor. So what I ended up doing was using pistons to get the alignment dead accurate. So as you can see here, I have created a bunch of blocks that come out from this platform that this rotor is attached to that go up and then go to this piston to align it this way, because obviously, you know, this isn't really in the center this way, if that makes any sense. And then the plan was to use this piston here to rise this, or to attach this ore detector here with this rotor part to this block here and then lower it down. And with these timer blocks constantly trying to attach a rotor part to the 1x1 rotor that's sitting underneath that rotor part now, actually to that rotor. So what I'm going to do though is demonstrate this so that you guys can understand how I actually did it. So we'll grind these two blocks away. I will reverse this piston upwards and then we will attach our another block underneath this. So we'll attach another block here, and then I will also reverse this piston here. Also, somebody else pointed out that the ore detector was actually interfering with these batteries here, and I actually didn't notice this until in between episodes when I went to try and place the ore detector down. Now the ore detector itself doesn't actually physically touch, because I mean technically it doesn't really take up the full 2 blocks, but you can kind of see here that it would interfere with trying to build it. So yeah, it's more like the model itself is more like, you know, 1.75 blocks long, I guess. So it technically doesn't interfere, but when you're trying to place it down, I think it was causing a few issues because it was interfering with this battery here. So alright, let's place in our ore detector. We'll place our ore detector here, and then what I'll do is I'll place down my rotor part. Cool, so we have our rotor part connected. Let's weld that up, and then we simply just reverse this piston, and then we'll lower it down, and because these timer blocks are trying to constantly reattach it, it should attach just fine. I think we might need to go a little bit lower. I did actually change this from 2 meters to 1.8. Ah, there we go. Cool. And we have a little bit of clang happening here. Let's get rid of this block. And yeah, as you can see, that distance isn't quite 1 block. So yeah, I did change that value from 1.8 meters to 2 meters to be the minimum distance, because I wasn't sure. I wanted to kind of avoid clang a little bit. Yeah, and that's how I basically got it connected. So now my main task is to get some power onto this rover. So the first thing I'm going to do is build these batteries. I've already queued up the components for that. But the problem is, obviously we have no sun, we have no daylight, so my solar panels aren't really going to work. I suppose what I could do is I could run a line of blocks out here and then maybe build some solar panels where the sun is. But we do have this hydrogen engine here, and I do believe we have a sufficient amount of ice to charge at least these small grid batteries. So what I've gone ahead and done is ground away the blocks the block that sits in between these 2 ramps, and I've attached a connector, and I'm going to connect it to this kind of platform here, and hopefully that will transfer the charge into these batteries here. I don't know if I set this battery here to discharge. I think I'll just leave it, but speaking of charge, I need some charge. Alright, so I've actually got some charge now. You know what I find particularly interesting though is the fact that sitting in that control seat actually charges me faster than standing in front of the survival kit. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. I don't know why it's like that, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, so what I want to do is get these batteries welded up. So I've already got them loaded up on my build planner, as you can see. I'm going to get rid of that connector there though, and I am going to withdraw the components for this, or for these batteries. And let's get these welded up. Fantastic. Alright, so we have our batteries done. Let's get rid of these timer blocks because we don't really need them anymore. Fantastic. Okay, so from this point, I just need to build this connector. So let us withdraw the components for that. I'll just head on over here though. Grab that, put it on our build planner. And what I'll do though is, yeah, I'll withdraw the components for this. Why is my inventory so full? Ah, I'm drifting away. Alright, let's deposit everything I have. And now let's withdraw the components for this. What? I cannot withdraw this stuff. Alright, let's put that on the build planner. And let's put another connector on the build planner. It looks like though I've run out of iron ingots. Of course. I don't think I actually moved all of the iron ore. No, I didn't. So I need to move all of the iron ore into this refinery to then be able to build everything I need to. So I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll be back when it's done. Okay, well, ferrying the iron that I've mined back and forth between the ship and this little setup I've got going here is getting old really fast. So I think what I'm going to do is grind away or drill away these this voxel here, and then we will go ahead and put in a pipe. And then that will lead up to a connector, and then I can just simply connect this thing to this assembler and refinery and then get all of that iron refined, and then we can actually finally start making a little bit of progress. I guess we are making some progress, but I'd like to make some quicker progress. Alright, finally we're making some progress. Okay, so the only thing I need to do now is finish the connector here, which it looks like I actually have enough resources to do. Fantastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this landing gear. We don't really need this anymore. And let's move the ship over to that connector, and then it can withdraw all of the iron that I've got in the inventory of this ship into that refinery, and then we can use that to build some stuff. Except I can't really see too much. Alright, let's see if we can do this in the dark. I don't really want to bump into that. But we should be, actually, one thing I probably should do though is find our connector and then go switch lock, add this to our hotbar. Hopefully I don't burn everything with my thrusters, but I think it should be okay. Alright, there we go, and let's lock her down. Fantastic. Okay, so now everything is connected and we should be able to refine all of this iron. How much iron do I actually have now? Let's have a look. Yeah, so we got 4.16k ingots, which is looking pretty good. And then I just need to make sure that the iron ends up before the cobalt, because yeah, that keeps getting in the way. Okay, so now that everything is hooked up, I should probably start thinking about turning this hydrogen engine on. So it looks like the sun is doing a rotation around the planet this way. So it's going to take a long time for the sun to come back around, which is really unfortunate. So I have no choice but to use this hydrogen engine to then charge my batteries. Alright, so let's go and turn this thing on, and hopefully it doesn't use too much power. Or sorry, hopefully it doesn't use too much hydrogen. Okay, so at this point I've got a fair amount of ingots. Let's have a look in here in my inventory. So I got 7.46k. I might just go ahead and turn this refinery off. That way, you know, I'm not wasting ice and hydrogen to basically charge my batteries. Okay, let's go in here and have a look at the batteries and see how they're doing. So I believe this is the battery underneath the floor. So current input 1.25 megawatts, and I have these batteries here which I believe are on the Rover. So these three here, I'm going to set these to recharge, and these should go ahead and turn yellow. I thought they go blue if you set them to recharge. Oh wait, no, sorry, they go blue if you set them to discharge. So let's just check out how much power this battery here has. Current output, fully depleted in 16 minutes. Stored power, no, hang on. 675 kilowatt hours. Okay, I might have to change these batteries here to not recharge. I might just have to let them charge naturally. Alright, so we'll switch these back to auto, and let's see what the battery underneath here is doing. Right, this power management is actually proving to be a little bit challenging. So what do we have now? Stored power, fully recharged in 3 hours. Okay, so we've got 1.25 megawatts input. What do we have input on these small grid batteries? Let's check it out. So fully recharged in 2 hours. Yeah, I really don't think this hydrogen engine is actually going to last that long. So the question is, how much ice do I have left? So we've got 6.8k ice. I think once I get down to about 1,000, I'm going to stop the hydrogen engine, and we're just going to have to wait for the sun to come around again. Or we're going to have to go to another asteroid and mine some more ice. Alright, so let me talk about the things that I want to do with this rover. So I guess there's a couple of different ways I can get this thing down to the planet. So first off, and probably the most obvious solution, would be to use parachutes. The problem is I don't really have a lot of experience with parachutes, so I really don't know how many it would take to safely land this thing down onto the ground. The other thing that kind of concerns me with using parachutes is that, you know, if it's heavier at the front than it is at the back, or vice versa, then there's a chance that the rover could come in at like a 45-degree angle or a 90-degree angle and then smash face first, or rearward first down into the ground, and I really just don't want to deal with that stuff. So obviously I'm going to need some gyroscopes to try and, you know, steer this thing a little bit. But I think what I'll do is I'll add a limited amount of ion thrusters to get it through space to the planet. And then what I'm going to do is just place some regular atmospheric thrusters in the downward direction, and then we'll just basically, float it down to the surface ever so gently. I suppose I could use hydrogen thrusters, but the only problem with that is I need fuel to do that. And yeah, electricity is a little bit cheaper than hydrogen fuel, so I think we'll just go with atmospheric thrusters. Alright, well, that hydrogen really didn't go very far at all, or at least the ice that produced the hydrogen really didn't go far at all. So we have about 2,000 worth of ice left. Yeah, so 2.05k. I don't really want to use any more than that because I probably need it for my hydrogen bottle and also my oxygen. So yeah, there is that. Although unfortunately we didn't really get too much charge out of that. So this battery only has 7.18 kilowatts or 718 kilowatts, and I'm not sure what these batteries here have. Let's check them out. So what do we have? 377.9 kilowatt hours, and we can, so they're about 37% full, and they're actually going down. So I guess I've got three options. So the first option is to fly out all the way over to that ice asteroid there, grab some more ice, or actually probably that one because it's a bit closer, grab some more ice, come back and do the exact same thing. But given the rate at which I was burning through that ice to run that hydrogen engine, I just don't think that's going to be an efficient plan. Second plan I could do, or second thing I could do, is maybe wait until the sun comes around, but that's not really a good plan either. And actually, you know what? The third plan that I'd come up with is not going to work either. So the plan was to run a whole line of blocks all the way out here with a solar panel to then kind of catch some sun, but it's kind of hidden behind the planet. Wow. Yeah, this is quite the conundrum. So I guess this is one major disadvantage to building a base on an asteroid so close to a planet, is that I'm going to have so many hours where I don't actually have any sunlight. So, okay, well I guess while we're waiting for the sun to come around to charge these batteries, there is still a few things that we could do. So I'll get rid of all this stuff, and then I suppose what we can do is start putting some thrusters on this thing and thinking about how I'm going to get it down to Earth. Like I said, I'm not going to use parachutes, I'm just going to use thrusters. So let's get rid of these pistons. I'm going to leave these blocks here, and I think what I'll do is just add a few more, and then I shall build a couple of lights so that I can actually see what I am doing. Or actually, I can see what I'm doing, but it might be a little bit hard for you guys to see. Cool, so we've got our lights built. Now let's go switch them on. Alright, cool. So I gave them a little bit of a blue tinge just because I reckon that light's a little bit better. Reminds me of like fluoros and things like that. Alright, so thrusters. Let me see here. Do I actually have them on my hotbar? I don't think I do. Alright, let's find ourselves some ion thrusters, because we're going to need some of them to travel through space. So put those on the hotbar, and then I want some sci-fi... Actually, no, let's go for the sci-fi ones. Might as well, since I paid for the DLC to get them. Wait. Sorry, let's use the new ion thrusters. So many different types. And the atmospheric thrusters. And we use the sci-fi versions of those as well. Okay, so what I want to do is probably put a thruster in either direction. Now, I'm not sure how many blocks worth of damage these things have. I think they have about... What is it? I think... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like 3 blocks. So I could place them internally like that. But I don't know if I want to. What I'll do though is, I think for the rear ones, we'll grind away this. And that should hold because nothing else is attached to that. Well, there is things, but it's not going to fall apart if I remove them. Okay, so we'll add... I don't think I need too many thrusters. I only need a few. I probably need more thrust in this direction though, so I don't know if I really want to put them there though. So maybe we can place our thrusters... Well, where can we put them? It really doesn't matter. Like normally... yeah, it's strange because I think parachutes, it matters where the weight is. But with thrusters, it really doesn't. So I'm going to put a fair few bottom thrusters here because we are in gravity and ion thrusters are relatively weak. So hopefully I have enough materials to actually build these. So we'll go for 6 and we'll just chuck them there in the middle. And what I'll do as well is I'll place some going in that direction. And then I just need one going left to right. So probably place another one here. Can I place one on either side like that? Yep, one there. And then we'll go ahead and place another one there. So now the only problem is I need to figure out where I'm going to put my atmospheric thrusters. So those, I might put them directly behind these thrusters here. Except these ones are like 3 blocks long. So 1, 2, hopefully this doesn't clang out. And then 3 and 4. I think the ion thrusters will be enough. Oh man, this is really not wanting to place it there. I think the ion thrusters will be enough for steering and things like that. But I might... I don't know if I really want to put atmospheric thrusters going in every direction. I don't think I really want to do that. Maybe I do though. I think the ion thrusters will be enough just for maneuvering. But what I'll do is I'm going to grind this away. And I'm going to put in 2 atmospheric thrusters on either side here. So we'll have, what, 8 in total? So I'm hoping that this rover's not really going to be that heavy and that will be enough. I honestly think it will be. And man, this thing is going to be fairly ugly. Normally I like to make things look a little bit pretty, but this thing is function over form. Maybe I'll add another couple thrusters here at the back, just for good measure. because the last thing I want is this thing to fall down. Although I might move them to about here. Let's see if I can actually place them here. Whoa. I don't think I want to go any closer than that to the rotor. So we'll place 2 there. So that's 6. That's 8 thrusters. That should be enough. Once I disconnect this thing from this platform, then I'll be able to figure out exactly how much it weighs and how much thrust I actually need to lift it. So, alright, let's start welding this thing up. Alright, well, I've got the frame of this thing welded up. It's really not the color I would choose to start with, so I'm probably going to recolor this thing once I get it, yeah, fully welded up. But there is one tiny little change I think I'm going to make. I'm just going to add some, like, kind of tips here. I was thinking about making the base probably like 2 layers thick, but I just don't really think it's necessary. As long as I'm careful and I don't run into this thing. Yeah, I know, me being careful, right? Yeah, as long as I don't run it into things, it should be okay. But yeah, I would like to put some extra blocks here for the suspension, just in case I do tend to run into something. Okay, there we go. So they're all placed. Now I just need to get everything else welded up. So I did change these little blocks here in the corner just to make it look a little bit nicer, but yeah, like I said before, it doesn't really matter too much. We still have to do all of these thrusters as well. I just need to make sure... No, they're not going to interfere with each other. That should be fine. I could actually just get rid of these thrusters here on the side and just put all of the vertical thrusters there. No, that's alright. We'll place them here. So I need to weld this block up. There's no choice about that. So I'll place something here to make it look a little bit nicer. And then maybe some half slabs. And then maybe just like a... we'll go for one of these. And we'll place that there. This is quite possibly the ugliest thing I've ever built. But it should hopefully work. So there is that. I'll get rid of this block here. Make sure I don't grind away the rotor part, because that would be really bad. Put that there. And that looks a little bit nicer. Maybe I'll do the same thing, run a line of blocks along here to make it look a little bit prettier. Here I've got to leave this free for at least 3 blocks. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3. So I can't put anything there. I can only put something there, which is fine. Probably go for maybe a block like this. And what else can I do? Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. And then I'll put another block there, I suppose. Another one there. Critical. And then we'll just place in some regular cubed blocks there. And what do I do here? Maybe I can put in a tip like that, that, and that. It makes it look a little bit nicer. Alright, let's get all this stuff welded up. I'll replicate everything else on the other side as well. Okay, so I've got a fair amount of this thing welded up. As you can see, I've added a few blocks to it. I couldn't help myself. I had to make it look at least a little bit nicer. Not that it actually looks that much better than it did before, but I think it looks a little bit better. However, there is one problem. So I was thinking about whether or not I should add an O2H2 generator. And usually what you would do is add this behind the cockpit and line up those 2 conveyor ports with the cockpit, so that you could then use that to kind of, yeah, produce some fuel to fill bottles and bits and pieces like that. But yeah, I can't really do that because yeah, I would want to put it here, but this battery's here, and I was thinking about placing another battery here, although I don't think I can because I have... Actually, you know what? I think I can do it without having to move this. So maybe what I'll do, what I was thinking of doing, right, is going ahead and putting a battery, if I can ever find it, putting a battery here like this. But of course it hits this thing, this ore detector, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Or actually, could I move this? I suppose I could just rotate this rotor 180 degrees. Maybe that's what we can do instead. Okay, so it should be at about 90 degrees roughly, and that should be facing the other direction. Fantastic. Okay, now I can go ahead and put in my battery. Once again, if I can ever find it. There we go. Place another battery there. Weld that up. Of course, I don't have the power cells for it. Let's get rid of this battery here. And then let's put in an O2H2 generator. Yeah, I know it is a bit of a shame I lost all the charge from it, but that's alright. What can I really do? The only thing is, though, I'm not going to be able to access the port on this. Alright, let's add that to the build planner. Build that. And I think we're looking pretty good. So I don't really need the oxygen, like I said. This should hopefully be enough power, but we're going to find out soon enough. And yeah, I think it looks okay-ish. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a problem. It's not a major one, so I need a lot of motors to build these atmospheric thrusters. So each of them requires about 18 motors. So we've got, I think it was 8 of these thrusters. So yeah, I need a lot of motors. The problem is they require nickel, and just by mining and refining stone, it's going to take me forever. So there is actually an asteroid about 60 k's away that does have nickel, so I might actually head over there and grab some. The only thing is, though, I don't know if I really want to take the ship all the way over there. So yeah, the problem is if I don't take the ship, then I don't really know where the ore deposit is either, so I'm not sure. I'm going to fly over there anyway, just using my jetpack, and see if I can't locate the nickel. And if I can't, then I guess I'll just have to do a whole heap of stone mining. So let's grab some power before I leave, and I also need to grab some jetpack fuel or some more hydrogen bottles. We have plenty of them around, so should be okay. So we'll grab 4, that should be plenty. And let's equip our drill and fly all the way over there. The only problem is, as well, is that wreck is about over there somewhere. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to run into that or not. So, alright, let's head over there and see what happens. Alright, well, we have arrived at our destination. Man, I'm really liking this speed mod. It doesn't take that long at all to travel such a large distance. And here we have some nickel, so it seems like it's relatively close to the surface, not too far, but, well, not exactly on the surface, but at least we don't have to go too far to grab it. Okay, so let's grab some of this, or about as much as I can carry, I guess. I do have plenty of silicon, so silicon's not going to be a problem. It's really just the nickel that I'm after. Okay, and there we go. So I've got 3.6k worth of nickel. That should be enough to build, like, I think, how many do I need? I think I need like nearly 100 or something like that. Now, where is my respawn pod? Alright, now let's start the long journey back. Like I said, I'm so glad for this speed mod, because otherwise it would take me forever to travel over there. And I would most definitely need to use a ship to do so. Alright, cool. So we're finally back. And the sun is actually coming around, so I wonder if I should move the ship. I think I will. I think I'm going to move the ship out into the sunlight and gather some energy. Actually, how much battery do we have here? Let's have a look. Oh, looks like this thing's got 2 batteries. So they can hold 3 megawatt hours, and we have about 954 kilowatt hours. So they're about 30% charged. So I'm going to move this thing out into the sunlight and get some charge in it. So let's move this thing up. Now I would build some sort of a system where I can, yeah, I would build a tower with some solar panels on it, but I don't really want to commit too much to this location because it's kind of going to be temporary. So alright, let's park the ship there and it should be alright. Oh, how much power am I actually using and how much am I charging? Yeah, that's the problem. I am in gravity, so I am expending power. Current input. Yeah, so I'm expending a lot of power just to hold this thing here. Okay, we're gonna have to yeah, because the thrusters are running to hold it up because we're in gravity, I'm just gonna use more power than I'm gonna gain. So alright, let's just park her back up. Alright, cool, we're parked up again. Let's get all of this stuff into the refinery and let's start building some motors, and then we can finally get this thing done and head down to the planet. Alright, so we should get a fair amount of nickel out of that. Or nickel ingots. Why won't it let me look into the control panel? Thank you. Alright, let's turn this refinery on. Awesome. And now all we have to do is wait even longer. Okay, so yeah, the rover is almost done. I'm just building some stuff to get these wheels built, and then I need to add some gyroscopes. Let me just do that quickly before I forget. So gyro, not sure if I've even got that on my hotbar yet, but we do now. So let's put, I guess, a gyro there and there. So let's grab the, oh man, hang on. Let's add these to the build planner. No, I can't add them to the build planner because I got to complete the wheels first, because they're on the build planner. So let's withdraw all the stuff and get these wheels built. So I think once I've built the wheels, what I'm going to do is probably put a tower up here to take advantage of the sun that is kind of here at the moment. So yeah, I just think these solar panels aren't really going to be enough, and I want this thing to charge as quickly as possible. So I think I am going to build a significant amount of solar panels for this. Cool, so we have our wheels done. Now we can go ahead and put some gyroscopes onto the hotbar or into the build planner. So we'll go small grid, add, I don't know, 3 I guess. 3 should be plenty. Let's get rid of this. Let's put those in production. See if I have the components for that. No, I don't. Alright, so I'm going to have to wait for that to be built. Now, what I would like to do as well is put into production a whole bunch of solar panels. So I guess we could go, well, let's go large grid. Select large grid. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think that should be enough for now, but we'll see how we go. Now, the new update has dropped, so I could use an event controller, a bunch of rotors and all that sort of jazz to kind of follow the sun. Don't really know if I want to do that just yet. I am kind of happy just leaving it for now. Like I said, this is kind of a temporary base, so I don't know if I really want to invest a lot of time into it. But I guess I could do that. Oh wait, no, sorry, the turret controller can do that, can't it? I think it has the option to follow the sun, but that's another thing I've got to build. Then I've got to build rotors and bits and pieces like that as well. So I don't know. Do I or do I not build it? Let's see what sort of materials we have. Do I actually? Okay, so all of my solar panels. Wait, no. Surely they're not built yet. All right, let's grab that stuff and let's get these gyroscopes built at least. Get them placed down, and then we can think about these solar panels. Okay, so I am producing a little bit of electricity, but not heaps. Okay, so I've got the solar panels in production. I think I will go ahead and actually make, yeah, kind of a solar tower that does follow the sun. So we'll need at least 2 rotors. Let's get rid of these solar panels, get rid of that. We'll need at least 2 rotors, but we'll need them to be large grid, thank you, please. 2 rotors, 2 rotor parts, and then we will need a turret controller. So custom turret controller, one of those. And our solar panels are being built, so that's fine. I really can't wait to try out some of these turrets that Substitious has made. These are awesome. Anyway, okay, so let's put all of that into production and see how long all this is going to take. I think it's going to take a fair while. So we need 1,300 iron ingots. Yeah, we've got 4.18k. We need 145 nickel. We do have that. And we have enough silicon wafers, I think, to get everything built. Do we? That's interesting. Why do I need detector components? I think I might need those for the custom turret controller, maybe? Interesting. Okay, so it's still kind of manufacturing stuff, but I think we have enough components on us to get at least this tower, or the structure of this tower done. So what we'll do is I'll place a rotor here. Now I might actually need... I don't know if the turret controller can actually do 2 rotors that way. Actually, no, we're going to need... Let's get rid of this. And let's get rid of this. And then I'm going to place a rotor here because it will kind of follow the sun in that direction. Even though I'm pretty sure it's going like totally overhead. And then we will need a rotor in this direction as well. But we'll place a random block here, I guess. And maybe I'll just have... I was thinking about having a rotor on either side, but I think I might just go one just because it's going to be easier to make. And then from there we can have a line of blocks that basically goes like this, and then we can attach our solar panels to that. So where's my solar panels? Okay, here we go. Now how many did I say I was going to build? 5. So we'll go for 6, I think, and we'll see how much power that gives us. So we'll put them here like this. Alright, let's get all of this stuff welded up. Well, I thought I had manufactured enough components for these solar panels, but it turns out I didn't for reasons. I don't know why, but yeah, for some reason it didn't actually fully produce everything that I wanted to. Alright, so I just realized though I haven't actually enabled the beta mode, so this probably isn't going to work anyway. But anyway, we'll place down our turret controller, so let me find one on the hotbar. Place one down here, I suppose. I guess here will do. Anywhere will really do. Oh, of course, I need the parts for that. Let's remove... I should be able to just do that. Alright, cool. So we've got our turret controller now. Let's go in here and see if we cannot set our rotor. Actually, I need to name this rotor here. So let's rename this one to the azimuth rotor. Azimuth. And then our... what would we call this one? Elevation, I guess. Cool, fantastic. So we have our 2 rotors set. Let's go into this block here and set those.
Energy low.
Okay, so azimuth rotor, we'll set our azimuth, and then we'll set our elevation rotor. Now, I wonder if the option is... Nah, I don't think... Error, must have a linked weapon, tool, or camera. Assigned camera. Do I need a camera? Do I really need a camera? Okay, we'll add one anyway. I don't even know if this is going to work, but hopefully it does. Cool, fantastic. Alright, let's get these solar panels welded up. And then once that's done, I will have to reload the game, download the beta, and hopefully this should work. Or an option in here should appear to track the sun. Oh, this build planner is driving me crazy. Oh, every time I put something to production, it doesn't actually produce anything, and it's really annoying. So it seems like we've run out of silicon though, so now I need to go and mine some of that. I think I should have enough nickel. So where is our silicon? Silicon is about 242 meters that way. I wonder if I can actually find that with just my jetpack. Right, let's go down to the bottom of the asteroid and see if I cannot locate this silicon. No, it doesn't look like I can. Alright, so let's use the ship again to do this. Man, this is proving to be very difficult. Alright, I think that should be enough silicon for the time being. So how much did I actually manage to grab? Whoa. 42,500. Yeah, that should be heaps for what we need. Alright, let's head back up to the top of this asteroid. I've actually got to be careful here because I'm running really low on power. And this really sucks because I'm having to expend so much power and waste so much time trying to get these solar panels built that I'm losing all of my daylight. So I might even have to wait for another full sun rotation before I can actually go down to the planet, which is really not cool. I don't want to go down to the planet at night. Well, but I don't know, maybe I just have no choice. Alright, we're locked down. So let's get the silicon refining. I could have just done it from the control seat, I guess, but oh well. There we go, we've got our silicon going. And now we should be able to build our solar panels. Awesome, that is our solar panels done. So we should be producing a fair amount of power. So all of those are like kind of directly pointed at the sun at the moment. So let us see how we are going for power. Current input is higher, but it's going to take 22 hours to recharge things, which is really not cool. So what I might do, looks like I'm building more solar panels. Okay, let's get rid of that stuff. Let's, I think what I'll do is I'm going to turn off this refinery, and then that should hopefully help things a little bit better. Cool, that's off. So how much power does it actually use? 330 kilowatts. Okay, cool. How much? I might actually build some more solar panels, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to add an additional, maybe 4, I guess. So, alright, let's... Stop floating away. Okay, let's withdraw some steel blocks. I don't really have that many steel plates. I'll put in another... Okay, that should be enough steel blocks to do what I want. Or steel plates, I should say. So we'll add in another row like that. And then I will go ahead and... what do I do next? Yep, that's right, we need solar panels. Okay, so let me grab some solar panels like this. And I'll place these things down. And then I've already constructed some solar cells. So I guess what I'll do is withdraw the solar cells, put them into those solar panels, and then add them to the build planner after that. So where's my solar cells? Because I don't want to build any more than I really need to. Oh, I've got heaps. Okay, so I should have enough solar cells to put into all of these solar panels. 32, 32, 32, and we got 13. Okay, let's grab some more. Let me grab some more. I thought I had manufactured all of the solar cells that I needed before, but they must have just gone out of the production queue and into another production queue of some sort. Alright, let's add all 4 of these to the build planner. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's remove that. And then now, this thing... oh, gravity. Let's put all of this into production and see if it's actually going to do it this time. Okay, so... looks like we have enough. Hopefully we do. We've got 230 ingots, silicon wafers. Oh, we might actually need some more silicon. Let's have a look. How many silicon wafers do I have? Not many. Alright, so I'm going to need to turn this thing back on. Cool, so that's another 4 solar panels. How many have we got in total now? 10? Yeah, 10. Something like that. Then we got some down here as
Energy
well.
low.
Now let me see. Alright, how many ingots do we have of silicon? So we got 102, which I think should be enough for now. I might turn this thing back off again. Alright, let's turn this off. Okay, how are we going for battery power now? So current input, fully recharged in 8 hours. So I think these are the 3 batteries that are sitting on the Rover. So I'm going to turn these to recharge. And how long is it going to take to recharge these? So 13 minutes. But they only need 1 megawatt. How much stored power do I have here? 620 kilowatts. What about in the ship? Next to nothing. Okay, alright, so let's put these back to auto. Yeah, I was kind of hoping I would get more power out of these solar panels than what I am getting. Okay, so what I'm going to do though is download the beta and get this thing working so that this then tracks the sun. And hopefully from there we can get some power. I might actually have to add a couple of solar panels to this Rover as well. Yeah, man, that is a shame. I really miss reactors at this point. Okay, so our Automatons Beta is now installed. Let's see if we cannot find the option in here to allow this to follow the sun. Ah, here we go. I finally found it. Always aim at sun. Okay, and then it should move. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, don't even need any scripts to do that either. That is absolutely awesome. Now, I think what I'll do is I'll create another wing on this thing. Let's see how we're doing for power now. Let's go into our batteries. So we will be fully recharged in 5 hours, which is not fantastic. What do I want to do with this one? I think I might set the base battery to discharge. So current output is 15.83 kilowatts. It won't like discharge it at a high rate, but what it will do is set it so that this isn't recharging.
No energy.
Darn it. Now, as I was saying, let's have a look at these batteries once again. So we have our batteries now. Like I was saying before, it won't actually discharge it at its maximum rate because I think the max output is 12 megawatt hours. So it's not going to discharge it at that rate. It's just going to not charge it, if that makes sense. So we'll set these ones to discharge as well. And then we will just focus on the batteries for the Rover. So it looks like we will be recharged in 1 hour, which is kind of okay because, yeah, not really. I think what I'm going to do though is I'm going to build another row of solar panels on the other side of this. So we'll probably do another 10 solar panels. So let's manufacture the components for those. So I don't know how I'm going to do this with the other rotor though. Yeah, that is a bit of a conundrum. How am I actually going to make this work? What I might do instead is just literally put the other solar panels like here or something. And then, yeah, so we'll just create a bit of a gap here. Go back this way. Need some steel plates. Alright, got some steel plates. So what we'll do is I'll place another block here like this. And then we'll go like that. So we got 10 blocks across, which should be enough for our solar panels. Let us see if that is actually the case. Alright, so let's place a solar panel here. You know, this this is pretty intense for something that's supposed to be temporary. So how many solar panels have we got there? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then let's put another 5 on the bottom here. Cool, and there we go. So now all I need to do is wait for this ore to be refined, the parts to be manufactured, and we are good to go. Alright, well this thing's hard at work refining. The only problem I've got at the moment is that, okay, so all of my ore is sitting in this drill, and the drill just basically wants to get rid of whatever is in there as fast as possible. So it's really difficult for me to put the stone in here to get some nickel. So it's really frustrating. So I might have to build another cargo container, but I think for the time being, what we'll do is get these solar panels built. So let's go ahead and add all of these to the build planner. Alright, so I relented and I built a cargo container so I can finally empty this drill. So let's find our drill. Is it empty? Yes, finally. So now I can actually put stuff... Alright, let's find our refinery. So now I can empty stuff out of here. Where is... Let's find our small cargo container. Alright, so I should be able to finally remove stuff from there. And where's my stone? Where's my stone? Let's put our stone in. Finally, we can add some stuff here without it moving out. It's been so annoying. So now that I've got that going, I can actually manufacture some nickel from that limited amount of stone, and hopefully that's enough to get another solar panel up and running. But we do have most of them up and running. I've got another 3 to go, so they are producing quite a bit of power. The batteries are still going to charge in about 45 minutes, even with this refinery going crazy. So let's see what we have in our refinery now. Alright, so it looks like I might just turn that refinery off. Alright, so that's off. Let's check our batteries now. Fully recharged in 30 minutes. Okay, so what I'll do now is add these 3 solar panels to the build planner and see how much of them I can actually get welded up. Okay, it looks like I can get 1 welded up, but one thing I can do, and I didn't even think about this before, I feel so silly, I can actually grind these ones away and move them to a more optimal location. So it won't give us much more power,
Inventory
but it should
full.
hopefully give us a decent amount of power, or more than what I had before at least. Alright, so our solar tower is kind of complete. I guess I could add some more solar panels here. I might just forego that, and then we'll just add one here on the side. Maybe like this, or actually can I add it here? Yep, there we go. I can add it there. Let's see if I've got enough stuff to weld that one up. I don't think I do though. Let's grind this one away and see if I actually have enough stuff for that. I think there was always going to be one that was left over that I couldn't finish. Oh no, there is one. I can actually do this one. Maybe it's the next one that I try to do that's the one that I cannot finish. And this thing is clanging around quite a bit as well. Alright, let's move this, put this here like that. And yeah, so this is the one. Oh, it looks like we have enough solar cells. So let's remove that. Let's add that to the build planner, and I should have the materials to build at least that one. Okay, let's put that into production then. It says that I don't have that stuff, but that's weird. I thought I did. Cool. Alright, so actually, how many solar cells do we actually have? None. Okay, so yeah, we're trying to build some, but I have no nickel. I got plenty of silicon, but no nickel. Right, so let's weld up this final solar panel. And after this point, literally the only thing I can do is wait. There is no more work to be done around this base. I don't really need to add defenses because I don't have anything coming after me. And if I did, I definitely wouldn't make this thing so weak. Speaking of batteries, let's see how they're actually going. And oh, by the way, I reckon this mod's pretty cool where the cockpit actually opens for you and then it kind of closes. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to be fully recharged in 26 minutes. Although I kind of suspect that, yeah, the sun's going to be overhead long before... the sun's going to be out of range, and we're going to have no light on the planet by the time these batteries are actually charged. So that kind of sucks. I kind of have to wait an entire full day cycle and wait for the sun to come back around all over again. Alright, well I was kind of looking into the battery, and it looks like if I put these, or all 3 of these batteries for the Rover on recharge mode, then they're going to be recharged in 6 minutes. But these batteries are going to be depleted in 8, this one will last 7, and this one will last 7 as well. So what that basically means is that I can recharge these things in 5 minutes as opposed to 20 minutes, and we should be all good. So once these are fully recharged, then all of the, I think I worked it out to be about 3.2 megawatts worth of power from these solar panels will go straight into the battery under there and the batteries on this thing here. So we should be good to go with that, and possibly in this episode I might actually be able to get down to the planet. Whereabouts is the sun at the moment? So yeah, I think I'll actually be able to get down to the planet in this episode. So yeah, that's awesome. Alright, so in the excitement of getting all of these things accomplished, I kind of lost track of time and realized that the episode is around about 55 minutes long, so I'm probably going to end it here. Sure, I probably could take this Rover down in about 10 minutes, but I really don't want to rush it. One thing I need to do is I need to figure out exactly how much this thing weighs, make sure I have enough thrusters for it, and just, go through it, make sure everything is Mickey Mouse before I attempt to take that down to the planet. And I really don't want to do that under a time crunch. So I'm going to end the episode here, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I am really looking forward to the next episode, as I hope you guys are. Alright guys, I will see you next time.